Today we're going to talk about a subject that I've talked about before, and probably I'll talk about it again. It is a subject that comes up all the time, and I feel like I need to just address it from time to time so people who have just learned about this channel can get an idea of my own understanding and opinions about the question. So this actually is from a comment. And this person says, I don't mean disrespect to Dennis, but telling people they will not be diabetic by eating a certain way is not correct exactly. It's more accurate to say you're putting your type 2 diabetes in remission. And there's quite a controversy over that issue. He says, because the second you start eating higher carbs, you will be right back where you started, and you will continue to get worse if you continue to eat the standard American diet. As I've done this many times, unfortunately, I'm still very much a type 2. So I guess the question is, what do you call yourself once your numbers get low? Let me read a part of what I answered this individual, and then I'll say a few more words. He says, my answer is this. When I talk about beating diabetes or being non-diabetic, I frequently say, but not always, according to the numbers. So in other words, you will not be diabetic according to the numbers. If I went to a doctor that did not know me and I said, test me and see if I'm diabetic, and he would most likely give me a fasting glucose test and an A1C test. And if on the fasting glucose, I came up with a 90, and on the A1C, I came up with a 5.0, which is the last A1C I've had. And I say, well, doc, what do you think? Am I diabetic? He'd laugh. He'd say, well, of course you're not diabetic. You're not even close to diabetic. I don't know why you would come in and ask me that. And you say, yeah, but Dennis, if you ate a big baked potato and some mac and cheese, and then you had a big Coke to wash it down with, would you not get high numbers? Yeah, I would. Does that make me a diabetic? Well, I don't think so. The implication behind it, or the idea behind what he's saying is, you should be, if you really want to consider yourself healed of diabetes, you should be able to eat the standard American diet. But in my opinion, the standard American diet is poison. If a person ate poison regularly, a low dose of poison, mind you, not the kind that's going to cause you to fall down dead the next minute, like in the murder mysteries, but if you ate low-dose poison all the time and you got sick as a dog after a while and had all kinds of symptoms, and you say, I need to be healed, and I said, you will stop eating all that poison and you'll feel a whole lot better and you'll be well. He says, well, that's not healing me. I should be able to eat my poison and still feel good. I'd be like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to eat poison? My friend, the standard American diet is poison. It is way too many carbohydrates, and most of the carbs we eat, like the chips, like the pastries, like the Little Debbie snack cakes, like the candy, like the cake, like the pie, and then throwing sugar in almost everything you eat, into your yogurt, into your ketchup, into all the kind of things that you eat. You're just poisoning yourself. And to say, unless I can eat all that poison and still feel good and still be well and not ever spike my glucose, then I'm not healed. I'm not well. So I just don't buy it. Why should we insist on being able to eat poison and have normal glucose levels? Here's another person who said something a little bit similar. This individual said, when you eat low carb, and in other words, you don't have high numbers anymore, said, you're not healed of diabetes, you're simply masking it. The only way to really be healed is to eat high carb, low fat. In other words, if you can eat high carb and low fat, and you're still doing well with your A1C and your fasting glucose, then you know you're healed. Well, first of all, I don't buy that at all, that you're necessarily healed. There's a lot of people eating high carb, low fat. Now, typically, it's people that are younger and slimmer that can get away with it and have a decent A1C. But if you bother to check their glucose peaks after their meals, eating a high carb, low fat diet, they'd be like up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what it would look like. Whereas the person who eats low carb, high fat, they're just going to be hovering pretty close to baseline. They'll go slightly up and slightly down, slightly up and slightly down. And that's a problem when you're going up and down with those severe peaks. let me give you, and a lot of people will say, well, Dennis, you still got insulin resistance because your glucose can really spike if you eat the wrong things. Well, let me just tell you this. The reality is our whole nation, our whole world pretty much has a struggle with spikes as they get older. And it's not just glucose spikes that's the only thing that goes wrong. As you get older, things don't work as well. Newsflash, as you get older, things don't work as well. I don't see as well as I used to see. I don't hear as well as I used to hear. I don't remember as well as I once did. I'm not as articulate as I used to be. Thank the Lord for video editing. I can get rid of some of my stumbling, but not all of it. I'm just not what I once was. I'm almost 70 years old, and I am not what I once was. Guess what? That's part of life. That's called aging. And almost all of us are going to find that as we get closer and closer to the 60s, the 70s, and so forth, we don't process carbohydrates the way we used to. And some of the things we just adjust. Your eyes aren't as good, you buy a pair of glasses. You go to the doctor, you get fitted for glasses. You don't hear so well, you may get a hearing aid, or you may just have to ask people to repeat themselves, but you have to adjust. So it's not a shock that we don't process carbs as well as we used to. That's true for everybody. That's not just a few of us, but some people are worse than others in this. So yeah, of course, you're going to spike when you eat high carb foods. Most people will once they get past middle age. I would venture to say anybody in their 50s or beyond, you give them 2 donuts and let them wash it down with a can of Coke, and they're going to be up close to 200. And I mean, I'm not talking about diabetics necessarily. I mean, they will for sure, but I'm talking about just people that have never been officially diagnosed as diabetic. You give them 2 donuts and a Coke, and almost guaranteed, almost anybody's going to be up there close to 200. And what does that mean? Well, it's called aging once again. You just don't process as well. Now, if you're overweight, things are going to be worse. If you have the wrong body type, where you've got skinny arms and legs like me, but a bigger stomach, that's going to make it worse. If you've got diabetes in the family, you're going to have more of a tendency, and that's going to make it worse. But almost anybody is going to get up close to 200, and that means you've got at least a trace of insulin resistance. The idea that we'll never have even the slightest little trace of insulin resistance when you're in your 60s and 70s and 80s, well, that's it's going to be difficult. There may be a few. I'm not saying there aren't anybody, but there aren't many. Basically, what it is this. Let me give you an illustration. We've got a friend of this Beat Diabetes channel named Anthony. He lives in Toronto, Canada. Anthony's a great guy. I actually interviewed him a while back. Suppose I became the president of the United States, and I said to myself, I'm going to do an executive order. Executive orders are popular these days. In other words, you don't need Congress. You just write it out, executive order, bam, it gets done. So I'm going to do an executive order, and I'm going to have everybody start walking toward Anthony's house. Get out of your house, lock your house up. Every American must walk toward Toronto, Canada, and visit Anthony and see his pink chaffle maker, because Anthony has a pink chaffle maker. That's right, pink. So I make my executive order. Everybody has to walk there. Well, some people are going to get to Anthony's house a lot faster than others. Some people that live in Buffalo, New York, can be there in a short time, depending on how fast they can walk. Others that live in Miami, Florida, it's going to take them a whole lot longer than those from Buffalo, New York. We're all headed for Anthony's house. The whole country is on the march, on the move, headed for Anthony's house in Toronto, Canada, but some are going to get there sooner than others. Now, those people that eat the way we've been taught, standard American diet, we're all on the march. We're all headed for the land of diabetes. Some will get there sooner than others. Some will get there in their 30s. Some it'll take the 40s, some the 50s. But we're all headed that way. Now, some people, just like if I said we're all headed for Anthony's house, there might be some people who will die on the journey. They never reach Anthony's house. They were headed for Anthony's house, but they don't get there. And that's how some people are with diabetes. They're headed for diabetes, but they'll die before they ever get officially diagnosed. And so nobody will say they died of diabetes. They were never diagnosed. Their glucose was never that bad. They probably had the insulin resistance, probably most of them. I would say for people who have strokes and heart attacks, probably most of them, if you gave them 2 donuts and a Coke, are going to hit 200 or higher, some 300. Even though their A1C may still be relatively decent, may still be under that 6.5 level. Their fasting glucose may be under the 126 that we call the official diabetic level. But they can sure spike, and that means you've got issues. Now, the thing to make you feel a little better is we all do. I mean, almost everybody does as you get older. When I was 18, that was a different story, but I'm not 18 anymore, in case you hadn't figured that out. And as we get older, we get more. So what do? The word is adapt. The word is adjust. Adjust to your new reality. Don't look back to when you were 22 and say, boy, I wish I was like that. You're not like that. You'll never be like that again. So don't look back. Just say, what do I do now, here? And for someone to say, well, you haven't really beaten diabetes unless you can eat all the junk and all the candy and all the cakes and all the carbs and just stuff yourself with 300 grams of carbs every day, and you still got perfect glucose levels, perfect A1C, perfect fasting glucose. Let me tell you something. First of all, if you really wanted to be perfect in your A1C, you'd be in the mid-4s. And almost nobody is in the mid-4s when you pass about 40 years of age. So we're all in the same boat. And I'm not in the mid-4s. I'm not too far from it. I'm 5.0 my last A1C, but I'm not that far. But we'd all be at 4.5 or 4.3, Dr. Bernstein says, if we were perfect, if we had perfect glucose control. So you pick anybody out of a crowd. Go to your church, go to your club, and just have them all take an A1C and see how many of them hit at 4.3. Not many, hardly any, especially if they're in their 40s. And if they're a bit overweight, makes it worse. And of course, when you get older, you tend to be more overweight. Your metabolism slows down, you gain weight more easily. It's just the way it is. So once again, you're not masking diabetes when you do low carb. The word is adapt. You're adapting. You're adjusting to the new reality. And if you can't adjust, if you can't adapt, you're in trouble, my friend. One of the things that will ensure a good life and a long life and a healthy life and a blessed life is being able to adapt to your new reality. And if you've just come home from the doctor and he says, well, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but you've got diabetes, it's time to adapt. It's time to make some changes. And of course, that's what this channel is all about. If you've recently been diagnosed with diabetes and you've just discovered this channel, let me recommend that you go to our uploads page, which will give you access to every diabetic video we've posted since we began. As you work your way through all our videos, I believe you'll find the help you need. A link to our uploads page is in the description.